Hello and welcome back, all my Dragon Ball theorists. Recently I watched a theatrical cut of the Cell Saga and there were a few scenes that blew me away. Moments of tension and actual despair that you could feel from the scene and the music, which would set up our antagonist perfectly as this evil villain that was more dangerous than imaginable was about to appear. When Cell first arrived in Ginger Town to completely reduce the population to just the clothes blowing in the wind, we thought to ourselves, wait, aren't the androids the real enemy? This is even more terrifying. So terrifying that Piccolo and Kami needed to make the decision to fuse, as it might be the only hope to save Earth. The actual debut of Cell might be one of the most memorable in history for a villain, as he is confronted and seen for the first time holding the last survivor of the town. As this poor guy pleads for his life and offering all his money to Piccolo to save him, it dawned on us that these material possessions are often not important in the face of real danger. Piccolo agrees to help him, not for money, but because he wants to protect his life. Cell surprisingly lets him go, as you can hear the desperation in his voice thanking the stranger for stepping in to save his life.
Oh, thank you. Here, take my money, all of it. Oh, you saved my life. I'll give you everything I have.
Then this freedom the man felt was replaced with pain as Cell's tail stabs into his back. Now the meal begins, and the life force fades from him. Between the music and the symbolism to focus on what he valued the most, his money, everything would begin to fade to darkness for this victim, as we watched like Piccolo in terror of this enemy. The dramatic feel of the scene was further drawn out to build tension magnificently, as finally his hand and body was all but gone, ultimately leaving nothing but his most valuable possession blowing in the wind. It's these small but incredibly important ways to tell a story that reel us into the show. We can relate to working hard and money since it is essential in our lives. We can put ourselves in this poor man's shoes of being held hostage and wanting to trade all of our once valued earthly possessions to just be saved from this monster. Then, it doesn't happen. Cell, who was staring at Piccolo the whole time, finally says,
"That we've gotten that vermin out of the way. You're next, Piccolo."
The wonderful portrayal of this dramatic scene, then Cell knowing who Piccolo was and saying he is next, is the type of story building we lack in Dragon Ball Super. We aren't drawn into the story anymore by breathtaking scenes of someone we can relate to losing their life after begging for it. This is just one of the most stone-cold savage deaths in DBZ and was wonderfully executed to premiere what would be the main villain of the arc. Everyone at the time was taken by surprise. We thought our heroes needed to regroup against the androids, but no. This was a terror that would even strike fear into the androids' hearts. I think I noticed the scene more this time around as I just finished watching Invincible, which is a fantastic show. One of the concepts in that show that is done well is the hero can't save everyone. Invincible's father, Omni-Man, lets Mark know it's just part of the job. There are always casualties. That is just life. Then when I watched the Cell Saga again, I realized that is what I really miss. There are no penalties or casualties. There are no really impactful scenes where our heroes just fall short of getting the job done. Where as a viewer we can relate to the people we see and feel their pain and hardship. Where Imperfect Cell is finally looking for Android 18 to complete his form and casually just starts obliterating entire island populations. Entire cities of people just enjoying their day see something in the sky, and all of a sudden, that is it.
Hey, what's that up there?
Thousands of screams from everyone realizing their life was suddenly ending was silenced as fast as it started. Our heroes felt the pain of not being able to stop it, that they failed and came up just short. Imagine just going about your day and you see something in the sky and realizing that is it. While we don't have Cell to worry about, this scene made you think perfectly how it would be the last moments before an asteroid strike, that life could suddenly end. We relate to the people in the story, and we feel the casualties of them just as Goku does. Innocent bystanders and our heroes having to make a decision to not be able to help them adds a very important dynamic to the show and its antagonist. When we feel the pain of our heroes and relate to that moment, we want them to triumph more than ever over this evil enemy. Then there was that moment where one of our heroes succumbed to his own personal vendettas. In a twist of fate, Vegeta allowed Babidi's magic to influence him to remember his dark past and giving him the Majin power. Vegeta wanted to settle this feud with Goku once and for all, and everyone's life was meaningless in its wake. When Majin Vegeta first pointed at Kakarot, you knew that an epic all-out battle to settle an old rivalry was about to commence, except Goku was still trying to get a grasp on what exactly was going on. Goku couldn't imagine his friend would be willingly controlled by darkness just to resolve his pride as a superior warrior. Goku would get a crash course on what is going on though as Vegeta raises his hand to release an energy blast at point blank range that he wasn't ready for. In a stadium full of spectators, Goku would be in a desperate energy battle with nowhere to go. Well, there was only one place to go, and the anguish on Goku's face showed that he was about to make the only decision he could. Our hero Goku would have to dodge out of the way of the blast, allowing it to drive through the crowd and the city behind it, absolutely ravaging everything in its path, leaving nothing but devastation. The horror on Goku's face that he had to sacrifice the very innocent he swore to protect so he could survive is something that weighs heavy on his soul. It also weighed on Bulma, Vegeta's wife, for her to see the man she loves so much do something so horrible, unable to comprehend how Vegeta could hurt someone and eventually fainting. This shocked us all, but more importantly, these casualties raised the stakes of this battle higher than ever. Vegeta would then put an exclamation point on it after revealing his return to his evil ways in what was one of the most memorable moments in DBZ. He raises his hand at the remaining crowd to demonstrate to Goku that this fight is inevitable and firing another energy blast into the stadium, shocking us again. To then see the remains of the innocent and their personal belongings blowing in front of Vegeta as he sinisterly looks at Goku gave me goosebumps. Majin Vegeta was going to fight Goku, and everyone, even the Supreme Kai, had no choice but to let this battle happen. These deaths of innocent people did something to Goku. It changed him. This is perhaps the most serious we've ever seen him, as the Supreme Kai attempts to stop Goku, but is quickly made aware that he also has no choice. In a dramatic twist, Goku is someone who would never hurt anyone, and now threatening the Supreme Kai's life. This scene had everything to it. Gohan in disbelief that his dad would even do such a thing, as his hand is being raised to kill if Shin doesn't get out of the way. Even Majin Vegeta is shocked at this behavior initially, as it is a complete reversal of Goku's character, solidifying how important this battle would be for Goku, Vegeta, and all of Dragon Ball Z. I miss these moments. I miss the importance of building up the story with these impressive dramatic scenes where there are consequences, where all of us were pulled into the story because we could relate and it pulled on our emotions. Our eyes were glued to the screen in disbelief and anticipation of what could possibly happen next. This is why Dragon Ball Z is a timeless classic for anime, because of how the story was told, how we were drawn into the show and taken on an unbelievable ride. I really hope in the future of Dragon Ball Super, when the anime returns, that they implement this lost art of storytelling. I know we can't have the blood like the old days, but you don't have to. Sometimes it's just the gravity of the scene, the music, and relating to either the victims or the struggle of our heroes when they fail to protect them. Well, these are a few of my favorite moments of the most savage deaths in Dragon Ball Z. After recently watching Invincible and then watching some DBZ arcs again, it just really made me miss these intense moments that does so much for the story and its characters. Not only that, it does so much for the fans watching. Now tell me, do you have any other savage death scenes or moments in DBZ that just emotionally drew you into the show? As always, I love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it and smash that like button. Also, please subscribe to support the channel and turn on that notification bell to keep those theories coming.